So I've come to West London to ride around so we can talk about beer, fish, football, and rivers. You may see dead ahead of me, Fulham Football Club, Fulham FC. This stadium is known as Craven Cottage. While most big-time football stadiums, if you've been watching the World Cup at all, look like spaceships, this just looks like somebody built a little pitch behind a cabin. And that's why it's called Craven Cottage. That's where it started. And the word craven is funny for me, and the word supporters is funny. Support or die is what we used to say when we were young. Oh, but that's where I want to go. No, I missed my turn. So we got this, you can see the Thames Pass sign right there. It's blocked off a bit. Let's see. So there's the stadium again. Just a small little place. I don't even know how many it holds, but not many. Surprised they haven't tried to build it. I'm sure somebody wants to build a new one so they can sell them the land for it, but this is pretty nice around here. I'm hoping this leads me to the river. But like a lot of places, say Egypt or Paris, there's always a river somewhere at the bottom of the hill. Also, there's a lot of steps. Okay, there she blows. So maybe we almost start over again here. There's the new additions to Craven Cottage, and there's the river. So a lot of roading here too. You may not realize this is the home. Goddamn rowing. You can see them out there on those, I don't even know what you call them, 5-man sculls, or the little ones. But rowing is cool. I mean, it's much cooler out here in the water than it is in the gym. That's what I would say. So the people of London have been using this river. I mean, the tides were here long before car traffic to transport almost everything. And this path is pretty dope. One thing you realize is that when you're riding around New York City, people expect you to smash into them. Here, they expect you to yield to them. I like that. So no one's really paying attention to the bicycles because they don't want you to come walking through. Now watch this. Oh, sorry, pup. Good morning. So English people don't love to talk to you. Americans love to look you in the face and say hi, make eye contact. And I think that's part of the reason when you're on here, it was a little tricky for me to ascertain, like, are people paying attention to me coming on the bike? Even if I'm really minding myself well, you have to be able to adjust. So I don't know if you can see all the way down there in the distance is the Hammersmith Bridge. That's one of our short-term goals here, along with a few pubs, brewery. Again, you can see the boats out on the river. I mean, people have been living on this thing for like 2,000 years. I mean, it was the only way to ship commerce, I suppose. I mean, you made your life on the river. Now this, another one of those junctions, Thames Pier. Hey, pup. Get around that. pub, kegs out on the street. So these kind of, not this one especially, Crabtree, these riverside pubs, I mean, they've existed kind of before bars and before nightclubs, so they operate on their own special hours. Last night was England versus Mexico in the World Cup, and the match started at 2 in the morning. The laws governing pubs here are pretty strict. Most of them close at like 10 or 11 because they're in a neighborhood, not just, you can't just go willy-nilly with whatever they want. So people were out pretty late last night. But they had to get the laws changed, temporary law changed so they could stay open. And there was a hot debate. I mean, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, you really think about people just shipping furniture out of a big factory on the side of a river where they're just carrying it down the hill to the barge from, say, Herod's Furniture Repository. Oh, depository, so maybe. It's nice along here. It's a little more built up and new. Although, but you like this architecture of this triangular building right here with these triangular balconies right there. People are into biking here a lot too. A lot of biking out on the roads. Great sort of pathways and signs. I would say one of the things that you notice here is the English are really good with signage. They have signs everywhere that are very clear and you can understand. I've remarked on in New York City, sometimes you'll see a sign that says Brooklyn, and you're like, miles and miles and miles away from Brooklyn. There you go. Just thrown out on a single skull. An airplane flying to Heathrow out there. So this pathway is really just like it's a little like the pubs too. It's like a whole family thing. It's not just a bunch of bike pathletes. Like you see in New York, everyone's just racing. Here I haven't seen any food delivery people or any full kit fucks acting foolish. Crazy old bridge. Woo. Trying not to get my head knocked off here. One of the things at the Hammersmith Bridge. So here's one of those real riverside pubs, the Old City Arms. I need to bounce out into the bike lane. Just pedestrians and bicycles now. Pretty fucking cool. So you may see down there tons of houseboats. This is a place that people are living on boats for a long time. I'm going to ride closer to them in a minute. Really interesting bridge. the Hammersmith Bridge. Richmond upon Thames. Maybe that's where Ted Lasso's show is supposed to be. I don't know. Turn around and go back over the bridge. Hopefully there's no one right on my tail. Lots of green spaces around, you know. I mean, London has such great names for places that include things like the so-and-so green. And you're like, oh, it's a park. Things are simplified. And with this river, I mean, I don't know if fish and chips essentially invented right here, but I'd be pretty confident to say they were an early adopter of the fish and chips and beer lifestyle. Sometimes you got to think about history, I believe, as just where's a cool looking place to have a beer. This is a pretty cool looking place. It's 9:30 in the morning, so most of these pubs don't open till noon. And the great thing about going into a pub is there's like, first of all, they're really efficient serving you a beer if you want it, but there's really no pressure to buy. You know, when you go into a place in the States, sometimes you're like, you feel like the guys are like expecting you to order a bunch of stuff, like to even use the restroom. Here they're just like, yeah, whatever. Do your thing, mate. So I get a little cockeyed on the right-of-way down here. Now you can see a good view of the old city arms right there. Craft Union Free House. Now we're back to the path. Sometimes I don't look the right way right when I get on. Look at them, rowing like crazy. Cool. Be nice to live along here, right? Or it's one of those things that you dream that it might be nice to live along here, but then after a while there's probably so much culture you'd be like, this is driving me crazy. Pubs, 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 pubs. The Rutland Arms. Okay, so now you can see all the houseboats. Here's a sculling club. All the houseboats on this Hope Pier. And then there's the other pier. Look how beautiful this is. Magnificent. Super peaceful out here in West London. I could have ridden down around Big Ben or Tower Bridge, that kind of thing, but I thought a little ride on the river are the kind of things I like. Fish and chips, beer, casual drifting in and out of things. It's a tight little turn here by the Dove. There's no cycling, but I think we could probably fake it. He's cycling. Cheers. Pardon me. We're really crowded this morning. So here's the Dove, the smallest bar room in Britain, like 4 feet across. Dreamy buildings. As long as you didn't have to do the repairing. We are now in the upper mall. I'm not even sure exactly what that means, but I'm into it. The old ship. You just go until you figure it out. But one of the things you'll see that's ubiquitous in all the world is jogging. It's a favorite pastime. We're going with the quickness there. The goal in all this is to get to the Fuller's Brewery. Interesting here, all these houses seem to own a corresponding patch across the road, which is fenced off, and then they build these big hedges in between it for their own little personal access to the river. It's hard to know how the history of all this comes together, but just say people have been here long before they've been anywhere else. A little free room in here, I can hold the camera a little better. That Jake Thackeray song in my head, Down at the Black Swan, which I would urge you to listen to if you ever want to be as depressed as you can possibly be. Ah, there it is, Griffin Brewery. We were distracted by the beauty of it all. It's like chocolate. So this is where Fuller's London Pride comes from, Fuller's ESB. Great beers in the world. One of my favorite beers. Oh wow.